Hey everybody, welcome to the Market Minute. This is a Black Friday edition. We're looking at some hot selling cards, mostly from Rosetta, one legendary. I bet you can guess which one it is. But let's get into it. First card up here is Call to the Grave. Non-foil sitting at $6.98, 115 on TCG Player right now, so quite a bit of stock there. 24 rainbow foils at $10.53. This card, 121 sales over the last week. If we look at the last 3 months, low is like just under $2, high sale price just under $13. I'll be saying this a couple times on cards coming up. That high sale price does include the launch of this card, launch of Rosetta. So maybe a little bit higher than it should have been. As we move forward, that will fall down. Yeah, just an overall interesting card. I was surprised to see it selling this well. Really doesn't have big boost from like being shown on stream or being in a meta deck or a meta contender. This card just, even ever since its launch, Brian Gottlieb was on the channel here, and he kind of mentioned that, hey, this might be a problem card in the future, just because its text box is very spicy. Maybe we see a Necromancer in 2025. That would be very cool. This card could be very relevant then. So sitting at $7 seems to be a lot of hype around it. Just for future implications at this point. All right, the next card here is Unsheathed. This is an expansion slot card from Rosetta. A little bit harder to pull. Keep that in mind. Sitting at $15.87 for the non-foil and $44.99 for the rainbow foil. Some have sold at $45 even. 109 sales over the last week. So this card's moving. The Hunted's moving it. People are pretty hyped for the Hunted. And, maybe Dory and Kasai get some nice support in that set. And then Unsheathed becomes very spicy for those heroes. So keep an eye on that. Low sale price is around $3. So this one's sitting pretty high right now, but another fast mover from Rosetta. And the next card here is a legendary from Outsiders, Flick Knives. This one, Syndra is pushing around. Once we saw that hero reveal, really started making it move. Rainbow foil sitting at $60.94. There are 35 rainbow foils on TCG Player right now. Cold foil at $1.20 and only 6 copies at the moment on TCG Player. Now, I've said this before on here, but Outsiders, the Rainbow Foil Legendaries were a little bit easier to pull in that set, so not surprised to see the discrepancy in quantity on TCG Player right now. We got like 20 sales over the last week on this one. The 3-month snapshot, low $12, high $80. So this one will be interesting. I'll be really paying attention to see if Syndra wants to use these arms. Ninja sometimes really wants that block on her on their armor pieces. This one is a Blade Break 1, and if you use the ability, you get 0 block. So that, things to consider when looking at this card moving forward. All right, the next card here, Destructive Aethertide. Sitting at $9.98 for the non-foil, 85 copies on TCG Player right now, $11.36 for the rainbow foil, with just about 40 copies on TCG Player. This one's really interesting. I think Living Legends is like propping this one up a bit. 104 sales over the last week, so maybe some prep for Chicago is happening, since Kano is a factor in LL for sure. I think Kano also always hangs around CC. So this is just a good blue block 3 with a nice on hit. Acilio probably also runs this as well. So couple wizards, paying attention to this card. Just interesting to see it around $10 right now. The low sale price is around 3, high is about 15. So it is sitting closer to that high water mark. It'll be interesting to see how this one continues to progress, especially with 104 sales over the last week, right? That could start knocking those quantities down quickly if it continues that way. All right, our next card up here is Sigil of Brilliance. This is an Acilio specialization, another wizard card. Non-foil sitting at $5.50. Currently 54 of them on TCG Player. No rainbow foil since this was a Marvel. 91 sales over the last week on this one. Just moving quite well still. Acilio is like a fan favorite. I truly believe that. I have a bunch of locals that love him. I just hear lots of hype around him. So it's just really cool to see this card actually, sell through, right? It's going to be a little bit lower sale price because it is a specialization and can only be used in Acilio. But overall, interesting to see this card really find a good rhythm here and still continue to sell well as we get further away from the drop of Rosetta. And the last card, another Acilio card here, current funnel from Rosetta, sitting at $17.25, currently 91 non-foils on TCG Player. Rainbow foil sitting at $18.60, 30 copies on TCG Player at the moment. This card also has the benefit of being pushed by Aurora, which is a top meta contender right now. Blue Block 3 has Go Again in the text box, so that's always a positive, no matter how you look at it. 101 sales over the last week, so people are still picking these up quite rapidly. 3-month snapshot, the low was $4, high is $24. So we are sitting up close to that high water mark on this card still. I don't really see that changing too much. With 91 of them on TCG Player, you're going to see that continue. If we see those sales, at 100 a week, maybe we start making a dent into that 91 and that price moves into the 20s. We'll be interested to see how that shakes out. That's going to do it for this Market Minute. Thanks, everybody. Peace.